Comic tropes YouTuber calls for Marvel to quote unquote abandon the Punisher after Donald Trump protest rally in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's
I'll
hard
read you
for me to get too worked up about this one, though. And I'll
Okay.
tell you why
Okay.
in a minute.
Okay. The first one is we have two of them here too. Okay. Comic tropes YouTuber Chris Pierre's. I hope I'm saying that right. I'd never heard him before, but apparently he's a big deal. He's got over 100,000. Is that a big deal? Okay. Called on Marvel to completely abandon the Punisher in the wake of the Donald Trump protest rally in Washington, D.C. Okay. The YouTuber, who has over 138,000 subscribers, shared a photo to Twitter of an individual wearing a patch featuring the Punisher logo overlaid on the flag of the United States of America. Pierre's then wrote, "The seditionists that invaded the Capitol today wore a Punisher logo. I say Marvel needs to either aggressively enforce their trademark so it isn't painted everywhere or abandon the Punisher completely." He then added, "You can't allow your characters to be used by terrorists." This is his quote. This is what he thinks of what happened on Tuesday. Okay. There's a lot I find an issue, and this was originally when I read this, I'm like, oh Lord. I was even going to say we were going to do this one on the Rumble one, but then we got more news. Should I go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is from Bleeding Cool. Bleeding Cool has its own issues too, but there were some quotes. Sci-Fi suggested the character needs to get a makeover. Get an artist with flair for costume design to do a complete visual redo that eliminates the skull. Hire a writer to find a story hook to explain why the change is visual aesthetic.
Yeah.
In visual, okay, that's an error. Okay, you'll catch heat for creating a quote-unquote woke Frank Castle, no doubt. But who cares if the story is a good one? People will buy the book.
That's about the only sentence that half of a sentence I agree with. If you make a good story, people will buy it. But you kind of countermand it all with everything that came before that.
Yes. We got more here. I hope I'm not boring the stream, but I have to get through this. Yeah. Inverse stated that the Punisher now belongs to the Proud Boys and that it's not up to me how Disney or Marvel pursues action, but there are examples of companies taking action. Fred Perry, the Polo clothing company whose black and yellow tipped shirts became a Proud Boys uniform, ceased manufacturing and selling the shirt and released a statewide condemning the Proud Boys values. And here's another thing. Here's the thing. When we all went to shutdown, this is bringing up a point about what's going on with the Punisher. Mm-hmm. When we all went to shutdown, Marvel published the series Punisher versus Barracuda, which replaced the Punisher ongoing series that concluded in October 2019. It was a strong seller. But artist Declan Shalvey was told to stop drawing the book. This happened to many titles, but most of those titles weren't strong sellers. But this also coincided with the Black Lives Matter protests and a focus on real and fictional police behavior. It is possible that Marvel took another look at the comic they were working on, and as time passed, there has been less and less inclination to depict the series up again. And there have been no new Punisher comics published or solicited since November. Has Marvel Comics canceled the Punisher without actually telling anyone? Taken down Frank Castle permanently with a stealth shot? We will keep watching the schedules.
Okay. So, a couple things here. First, everybody seems to forget that despite what they've done with the Punisher in the past decade or so, he was introduced as a villain. He's an anti-hero at best. I'm sorry, but you guys have made a lot of money making anti-heroes into heroes. So if you have a problem with what that's led to, that's your own fault. So screw you, Marvel. Congratulations. You reap what you sow. Secondly, this whole idea of abandon an IP because somebody's wearing the t-shirts that you sell, you kind of miss the whole point of marketing, okay? People buy your shirts, then they go and they commit a crime. If you see that as a reflection on Marvel, then you kind of don't understand how t-shirts work.
So if
Okay.
I like go and rob a bank wearing a Captain America T-shirt,
yeah, Marvel
is
Comics
the Marvel
doesn't get to
responsible
come
for that?
along and say, you know what, you bought this T-shirt, which is our intellectual property. We're suing you for making us look bad by committing a crime while wearing it. No, I bought this T-shirt. It is my clothing now. It has no reflection on you now that I own it. You know, that's not how your trademark works. You don't get to dictate my actions if I wear your shirt. Okay. Maybe if Coca-Cola was paying me advertising for using my chest, then maybe they'd have some say over it. But you don't do that, Marvel.
Well, I have no idea what they're going on about. Back to the drawing board makes a point. Do they realize all Marvel costumes are cosplay bait now? Yeah. Anyone can slap on a Marvel costume and co-opt them. Maybe I should dress as Miss Marvel to a protest. There you go.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They can come after you if you are making the costume and selling it on Etsy. You know, that is an infringement of their intellectual property rights. But you make yourself a costume for yourself for personal use, good luck trying to pursue that. You know, and even better still, you decide you're going to stop selling it yourself. That intellectual property falls to public domain eventually if you don't do anything with it, which is exactly why they keep putting out Captain Marvel. Whether it sells, nobody gives a crap. As long as they keep canceling and restarting that title, they hold the rights to the name Captain Marvel. That's all they care about. So that DC Comics can't eventually come and pick it back up. So fine, you don't like people associating the Punisher with their activities. Fine, quit using the character, let the trademark lapse, and you know, in a couple of years, you can say, yeah, we know we created it, but it's not our thing anymore. And you make $0 off of it. And someone else is going to be out there continuing to put it on T-shirts, and now you can't even go after them for it. That's genius.
Oh, back to the drawing board. No comment on Batman's full costume appearance at the riots during the summer, I noticed. Yes, I do remember seeing him show up. I didn't know what that was about.
Oh, yeah. There's a
point.
lot of double standards happening now.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The hypocrites are out in force. I'm telling you, everything that you say about the people this last week, you know, you better have said it about people last summer. If you don't, you're a hypocrite, and I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
See.
Back to the drawing board. And now I have to do something I never thought I'd do. Sean King called the Capitol shooting a bad shoot. I give him full credit for that.
Well, he is not a hypocrite.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I was even arguing too, and we'll get to this in our next segments too, that you know, you can disagree with someone politically, but you can still have some decorum. And that's usually the best way to get them on your side politically to begin with anyway, you know. If you're not screaming at them that you're an islamophobe, whatever, you know, and we're just talking.
Well, and that's usually
we would probably solve a lot more problems in this country if we would just talk to each other. That's usually
the best way to take the wind out of their sails, right? Mm-hmm. If someone says, you know, I think everybody that stormed the Capitol should have been arrested, you know, I could very easily turn around and say, yeah, I agree. Oh, you do? Yeah. Just like I think everybody that was protesting this past summer, burning places down and camping out, you know, in the middle of a commercial district should be arrested.
So you're saying
then you're the hypocrite.
So you're saying when someone sets a man's business on fire, then he goes with a fire extinguisher to try to put out the fire, and then he gets knocked unconscious. That's the hospital. You're saying that's not a peaceful protest. That's my point.
I'm not even going that far with it.
Yeah.
I'm saying you got to apply the same rules across
to everybody.
Exactly.
But that wasn't good.
And as soon as you say it's okay for one person of one race and not okay for a person of another race, who's the racist?
Or even of a political affiliation. I think that's even
and that's what's even worse. Yeah. It's not even about race anymore. Now it's if you're a conservative, you deserve to die.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe the woke left, you don't deserve to work, you don't deserve to have a home, you deserve to die.
The thing is, when you support this, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, it will eventually come to bite you in the butt too, because the people pulling the strings don't care about you either.
Yep.
But anyway, what was I making a point? Oh, Melissa Harris says, I love the Punisher movie where the Punisher blows up a junkyard and drags a burning man with his car and makes a giant flaming Punisher skull. That was the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. You ever see that?
That was good. That was brilliant film. Yeah.
I love all three Punisher movies, even the
Dolph
Lundgren one.
The dragged burning man was, by the way?
Was it Travolta?
It was John Travolta.
Yes, I remember now. Yes. That was a good, because I think Thomas Jane wasn't as well known, so they wanted to get a more known star. So they figured, well, cast them the more known star as the villain. So they got Travolta, and it was excellent. I even liked the follow up, Punisher Warzone, which I guess ended up being a reboot because they couldn't get Thomas Jane back. That was also excellent. Punisher Warzone. Yep. Punisher Warzone plays like a B movie version of The Dark Knight. Yeah. It's so over the top.
I'll be honest with you. It took me a long time to see Warzone, and I didn't think I was going to like it. And Nanette had liked the Tom James film so much. She's like, yeah, let's see it. And I checked it out, and I'm like, this actually isn't bad. If you just get past the fact that it's not the same actor and just go, yeah, it's the same character. I'm like, yeah, this is actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Dirty Laundry is even better still. I was very concerned about showing that one to Nanette, and she loved it.
I have Dirty Laundry. A friend gave it to me. I need to watch it. It's like an unofficial Thomas Jane Punisher follow-up, right?
Yes, it is.
I need to check that out. Yeah, because I'm a big fan of Punisher Warzone. I even like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie.
Well, speaking of the Dolph Lundgren film, going back to what you're talking about, the one person saying that they should redo the Punisher to remove the skull. Yeah, that worked real well for the Dolph Lundgren film, right? Yeah, that should work real well in the comics too. But let's face it, I think in about a year, it's not going to matter because there won't be any more Marvel comics.
Well, we'll see. I know DC's in trouble, definitely. Oh, Nanette has 2 Punisher shirts.
He does, and I have a couple myself. Yeah,
I don't have any Punisher shirts. I have a lot of other characters without Punisher. I got Venom. I have the X-Men. I got Batman, Superman, Captain America, Black Panther. I don't think I have Punisher, though. No.
Yep.
Okay. I don't think I have Wolverine either. I do have, I think I mentioned Venom, though. But, yeah, I am looking for, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to watch Dirty Laundry.
You know what? I'll agree with this stupid comics trope doing that. Yeah, abandon Punisher. You do that because I'm sorry. I don't care if you do own the rights to Punisher. You don't get to dictate what people wearing the shirts that you license do. Well, and if you want to just give up the intellectual property, all you're doing is throwing money away. That's fine. You can do that too, because someone's going to continue making those shirts.
They think they can dictate to Disney, though. That's another thing I was noticing about this too. All these insiders, they're thinking they can tell Disney what they can publish and not publish.
Everybody thinks that they can control everything. I'm sorry, that's not what this country is about. Freedom and liberty cannot be controlled. And as soon as you start dictating things and controlling things, you no longer have freedom. The two are incompatible.